Hello, Bingo here from the future. It's about 20 minutes after I did the recording. And I'd just like to share some things right before you see the meat of what I'm going to go into. I'd like to start this off by saying that I'm going to imply on multiple instances that you should follow my lead. While I'd like for you to follow my lead, more importantly, I'd like for you to make that decision yourself. The title will speak for itself. You'll see that there are people a part of this community that don't think that morality isn't contingent on who you are. There are going to be people that I will show that are going to believe and live by the words that morality will only be contingent on who you are. I only have to follow morality on certain people. And now, people need to start standing up for what they believe in, including myself. I'm not, you know, I am a part of this. You can't just let people walk over you. You can't allow people to walk over what you know is right and be silent. Forget who these people are that you are protecting. Because we as Americans, Christians, and even the agnostics and atheists, we all have this general principle that everyone has a fundamental right to life, which is what many of these people that I'll be showing also believe in, or claim to at least, but they don't act like it. I wouldn't be making this video if they acted on what they say that they believe. These people are attempting to justify the murder or assassination of Charlie Kirk, not because of what he did, but because of what he said. If you have a fundamental belief that murder is wrong, then this video is for you. Enjoy. You know, it's been right around 36 hours. This is the 12th of September, 12 in the morning, as I'm making this. And there are some people on this community, in this server, who seem to not have a grasp of what morality is. You know, mocking the dead. I can understand if you have differing political beliefs or differing values, views, and sorts. But then to cheer on a murder, it's just so foreign. You know, this is a community that we're all a part of. And none of these people can truly say that murder is wrong. I can. I've been very consistent in the fact that I say that every murder is wrong. And what is murder? Well, it's the unjustified killing. Yet each and every one of these people, this is a good one. Silva saying like, hey, selective empathy, it's a MAGA thing. Well, what you're going to find is that liberals, they have no empathy. But the thing about morality is that it's a base level, right? You say murder is wrong. It's not contingent on who it is, right? This was murder, and they're trying to justify it because, he said things. And then the people being like, well, can't we justify murder? Well, there are instances of justification of murder. For example, within like Hitler, because he actually did things. He actually killed people. He attempted a mass genocide, and he succeeded. But these are people who we interact with on potentially a daily basis. These people are not moral. They have no ground to stand on. And it's a very slippery slope once you start trying to justify murder because someone said some things, because it's barbaric in nature. The reason it's barbaric is because then I can use that exact same claim as to why it would be reasonable for me to murder you. And it's just going to keep going back and forth. You said some things that I don't like, I'm murdering you. I said some things you don't like, you murder me. And so, in order for society to even function, you must be able to say, murder is wrong, don't do it. And we can't justify murder based off of what people say. It must be the actions. And, if they're attacking, if they're hurting people, if they're killing people, this is Jax. Kind of can't see it very well. Some of these people, I wasn't surprised. But then there are some people who I've interacted with who I thought were pretty cool. There's two people who I don't have up because I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. I've talked with them. I've had great interactions with them. Yeah, I mean, one thing here is that this wasn't just the liberals, it was just good people. These were good people. They said, hey, it's wrong. And guess what? The liberal Yanks were also the Christians. Christianity is one of the biggest components as to why we ended slavery. But no, you just want to use this word liberal because that's what they were at the time. But then trying to say that 60 years ago a political party was about these things, that doesn't say anything about the people today. The vast majority of the voter base aren't around at that time. And right here, one thing that I find so interesting is that these people will call us Zionists or Nazis or, you know, racists. But it's like, well, let's look at what each side supports. Well, liberals support that you should not hire or allow people into your university or get an education based off of merit. They believe it's based off race. It's a form of racism. You're giving people things because of their race. Why should I be punished when I didn't do anything and they get paid because they didn't, live through tragedy? They didn't live through that tragedy of slavery. And calling us Nazis, well, hey, last time I heard, you're not the ones that are constantly getting killed and getting shot at and getting told that you can't say anything, being attacked, assaulted. The big one right here after this one is that, you know, these people are psychopaths, at minimum sociopaths. To see someone die, right, looking and watching the video, you get a high from it. These people are getting a high from this. They are so happy at seeing death, and it's odd. Okay, it wasn't the one right after. This is a little clip, and you can find it in the politics channel of the CWRP, or the Superior Servers community Discord in general. It's this one, right here. Yeah. just mocking. I don't understand. These are people who will say that it's wrong to be to not be tolerant. And now they're talking about all these conservatives because apparently he looked at a clip or something that did not hold all of the context in it. Just looked at a phrase. But if you listen to everything right after or right before, I believe, it would have given you all the context that you needed to say that, hey, it wasn't a stupid thing. These people don't have moral ideas. They aren't moral. Why are your morals contingent on who it is? I don't think anyone should be murdered. It's tragic for everyone involved. I heard his daughter, after the gunshot went off, ran up trying to go to her father because she was sad and she was getting pulled away. And she said, "Why can't I see my daddy?" Just think about it. Like the 11th, yesterday, because it's the 12th, it's 12 a.m. right now, was the first day that those children and his wife woke up without their father or husband. Like, where's the humanity? You can call him a fascist, a Nazi, whatever you want, based off of what he says. And it's a slippery slope. But now there are quite a few conservatives, which I don't agree with. But I also can understand the points that they're making. We're getting attacked, we're getting killed, we're getting, at minimum, like let's say this was a freak conservative. Either way, it's still a lunatic, and these people are cheering it on. I'm not going to be on the server anymore. I won't. These people are crazy immoral. And I say for any Christians or anyone who's willing to say that murder is wrong, like look at these people that you're around and ask yourself, do you want to either support them or do you want to even affiliate with these people? Because like it or not, they would laugh if you were to die because you were to talk about what you believe. Because that's all that Charlie Kirk did. Not one of those people have stated something that he physically did to someone or that he actively did a harm. All they said was that he talked. These are un-Americans and these are not Christians. They want us dead. And I'm not going to support them. At this point, America, the Democrats and the Republicans or liberal conservatives, whatever you want to call them, they hate each other so much that there is no peaceful discussion. Because, like it or not, Charlie Kirk was a peaceful man. He discussed with people of differing opinions, and he would try to not only produce his side of what he believes, but also be respectful enough to listen to the other. And now he's dead because of those beliefs. And even if he wasn't killed for that, and he wasn't killed for his beliefs, everyone, everyone already shown, everyone mentioned, everyone that already said these things, still are not in a good part. And they're not on the good side of this. They still are unable to say that murder is wrong. It's not a moral ought for them. You ought not to murder. Or they will justify this by saying that he said things. And like I said earlier, it's barbaric in nature. Anyways, I just wanted to share what I found. I'm not going to be on the server anymore. I urge everyone to think about who they're with and to recognize, who are you going to support? Are you going to support the people who say that murder is wrong, or are you going to support the people who think that murder or morality is contingent on who you are? Because more likely than not, they'd laugh if you were to die as well.